my name is Evie and I welcome you to another exciting episode of Real Talk in the studios of Hope TV Ghana. I am very, very excited to come your way again with yet another interesting, very intriguing topic or story, because this one I was surprised. I laughed at a point. I wondered what was going on, if this was something that she just started doing or it's been ongoing and the husband has just decided not to pay attention or decided to ignore the signs, because I don't think it just started. I think it's something that has been happening. Maybe she wasn't doing it at home. I'm sure you're wondering what I am talking about, but I'll go into that shortly. I just want to remind you that we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. So stream live, join the conversation, tell a friend to tell a friend, leave your comments under the comment section, and I will make sure I read some as the discussion goes on. I would also like to remind you that we have so many contents on Hope TV Ghana, not just Real Talk. So please do stay tuned and watch all of our amazing content. So I was talking about this lady. The truth of the matter is we all have faults. We probably all have some sort of characters that we are not proud of. Some of us, we can gossip for Ghana. Some of us, we are jealous. Some of us, we are envious. Some of us, we can eat. We are foodies. A lot of things that we all do that we are not proud of. But the problem is when these things that we do start affecting the people that are around us, starts bringing embarrassment, starts causing rifts in family members. That is when one can say it has gone too far and we need to do something about it. And today I have a story on the table that we will be discussing shortly, but I want us to listen to it because I like to read so I don't miss out any of the details in there, because it would help us have a very 360 conversation. So this story was sent to us by a gentleman, and he says that he just found out he married a thief. Yes, he said, I am so ashamed and do not know what to do about it. It started with my wallet. I hardly count the money in my wallet, but I arrange them in a specific way so I know when it has been tampered with. Some days I would go through my wallet and a whole denomination of notes are missing. I would think so hard and try to remember if I used it. My wife's junior sister was living with us, but I do not want to blame her because she's a good girl, even though these incidents started some few weeks after she came to live with us. I only had to accept that I have spent the monies one way or the other. One weekend, I came home with my tithe money. The idea was to put them in an envelope the next day and send it to church. I picked my wallet the next day and half of the money was gone. So I called my wife and asked her about the money. She said she did not take it. I was forced to ask her sister. She also said she did not take it. This continued and we had to let her sister go. She brought in her niece because we still needed help around the house. The same issue started again, and this time my wife also said she is losing money as well. So we sacked her niece too. I started locking my wallet in my drawer and things seemed to stop. My senior brother and his wife came to visit our home one day. The next morning, he called me aside and gave me the most shocking news of my life. He said he saw my wife dashing out of the room they slept in and just realized his 500 Ghana cedi is missing along with his wife's jewelry. I did not believe him. After they left, I called my wife to question her. She refused the claims at first, but I told her my brother was going to do something to the person who stole his money, and she confessed and brought out the money and the necklace she stole. She started crying and saying it was her first time, and I asked her about the monies that were stolen from my wallet. She remained silent and just kept crying. I made her apologize to my brother and his wife, but I am afraid she'll do it outside and she will be caught and disgraced. What do I do to help her? Can she ever stop? How did I not see this side of her? So he says he married a thief. As to whether he married a thief or the woman became a thief after marriage, we do not know, because apparently he did not see these signs when they were dating or courting. And I can imagine how embarrassing it is, your brother calling you to tell you that, oh, your wife just took money from my wallet and my wife's necklace. I mean, I'm sure that moment you would wonder what your brother is trying to achieve spreading all these lies, because you obviously do not think your wife is a thief. But I can understand you thinking and realizing how maybe it's true because of how your monies were getting lost in the house some few months ago, and calling her for her to confess and bring the things out. It's too much. I obviously cannot have this discussion alone, and so I had to find people that I felt were knowledgeable enough, learned enough, that they could share their opinions and maybe have some better understanding to the story as to why this woman is doing this to her own husband and to her own family, to the extent that she allowed her husband blame her sister and her niece, knowing well that she was the one doing all that. So I found an amazing woman called Cynthia Mensah. She'll be joining me in the studio. And I have Sethina, Rahel, and Erin, but I'll start with Cynthia since she is with me in person. Cynthia, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm good. And yourself?
Okay. How has your week been?
So far, so good. We thank God for mercies.
Midweek, so we are halfway through. God has been good. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
I know, because it took a while. It took a while to do some convincing. But I always enjoy having Cynthia here. So even when she's saying no, I have to find ways of getting her into the studio. And this time I was successful. Maybe next time I wouldn't, but I will. I can only take today's joys and celebrate. So joining me virtually, I have Sethina Efwa Arthur Kusi Apia. Sethina has a really long name. Sethina, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, Evie. I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. How is the family? Everyone, the kids, the husband?
Yeah,
Thank God. Are you ready for the story? Because this one is very interesting.
I'm ready. Evie, I'm ready.
Thank you so much for joining.
Help us, and I'm ready to do that.
Yes. The only gentleman joining us virtually today is Erwin Safo-Kwarteng. Erwin, good evening. I think Erwin is joining us all the way from Sunyani. Erwin, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, and you, Evie?
I'm fine, thank you. How is the family?
We are doing well by God's grace.
We thank God. You being the only gentleman, I'll be picking a lot of your mind on how you think this man should go about handling this very sensitive issue with his wife. So I'm sure you're ready for the discussion.
Yeah, I'm very ready.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. So joining us all the way from the States, Columbus, I have Rahel Ameyao. Rahel, good evening.
Good evening, Evie. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
I'm sure reading the story was an interesting one for you.
Well, this story is an interesting one and sad at the same time. It's a very sensitive story.
Yeah. Just before I come to Cynthia, I would ask you your general take on the story. What came to mind? What do you think is going on here? Why is this woman doing this to her own family?
So one thing I know is stealing money from your spouse, it being a husband or a wife, isn't something that's easy to overlook. And one might be wondering why he or she had to lie about the fact that you take money from them. This means that you're doing something the other party don't approve. And I believe that if you lie in a relationship, in one way or the other, you're trying to break the trust you have in the relationship. So generally, it's going to affect the relationship.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, people have a lot of reasons to steal something. So sometimes you will know that people steal food from the street because they are hungry. So such people, when they have enough food, they are not going to take another thing from any other person. But there are other people who steal because it's a habit. It's not because they need it, or it's not because of anything. It's not because they are lacking. They just take it because it's kind of an addiction. And I see that to be something spiritual. So reading this story, I felt like the lady need help because I don't think any, excuse my language to use, normal young lady will steal from the husband's family. And even God, because she took a tithe from her husband's wallet. So it's kind of, she stole from God. So I believe she needs help, and it's not going to take just herself, but her husband and maybe the family and friends around.
Right. Thank you so much, Rahel, for that. Thank you. And I completely do agree with you that it's obviously not because she needs it necessarily, because she could just ask her husband for the money. Or is it the case that maybe the husband doesn't give her money, as someone said off air before we came? He said maybe the husband doesn't give Chop money, so she takes it and then she uses it for the house. But Cynthia, what's your general take on the story?
Okay, you know, first when I read the story and the title, Married a Thief, you know, so I was wondering, a thief. Okay, but how can you call your wife a thief?
Right.
I heard what she said, actually, that yes, she needs help. I see that on one aspect.
Right.
But then let's flip the coin a bit. How is their situation at home? Is there definitely no one in their right sense would want to steal from their partner, from their husbands, even from their in-laws, because it's so disgraceful.
Yeah.
But is it that situations in a home is so bad? Is it that, as you said just before we came on air, maybe the man does not really give money to the woman in terms of upkeep of the home or anything? She was very aware of what she was doing, but it could be that she was desperate. So that's the only way she could resort to take things around. And then you look at the fact that initially, you know, she wanted to pen it on her knees or something. So she said she's also been losing money as well.
Right.
So then at the end of the day, yes, could be that situations at home were that bad, or she's in a spiritual situation that she needs deliverance from. Definitely, no one would want to do bring such disgrace upon themselves.
I know, right?
So it's definitely, I feel it's more of a spiritual situation than what we are saying.
Yes.
It's not just anything physical. Yeah.
Okay, before I go to Erwin and Selina, the man is saying, how did I not see this before we got married? Has this been her character? You know, what do you think she was doing this before they got married? Do you think it's a red flag that the husband ignored? And sometimes we do see some of these things, but we ignore them. So this is a case of a red flag that went unnoticed until it's now very embarrassing. So if you could just give your opinion on some of these things in relationships that we do not take seriously.
I mean, we don't take something seriously, to be very honest with you. There's so many red flags we see, but at that point in time, you know, the butterfly feelings and everything is, your head is just so up there. So you pretend as if, I can deal with it. But meanwhile, you really can't deal with it. If the man is going to be very, very honest within himself, was he paying particular attention? You know, there are times you don't pay attention to some things till later on. Was he really paying particular attention to when they were courting, for instance, and the lady was around him? Was he paying attention to maybe money he was leaving in his wallet? Maybe he places his wallet here, he comes and maybe some few notes or thing is missing. Was he really seeing it and he pretended as if it wasn't happening? Or he did not actually see it? It did not happen during that time. And I doubt, because those traits are there, you would see something will be there. And you know, we always have this adage that's in, I'm going to say it in Tree, you know. What sort of background investigation? It's a background investigation just to know that, because you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone.
This person, right.
So what are you looking out for? You wouldn't see everything in the person. You see the person just like that.
Right.
Did you have that interaction with God even to reveal some hidden things about the person's character? And it's up to you to have an opinion. You could decide that in spite of everything, I'll still go ahead and I'll try to bring the best out of the partner I am going to get married to or something, did you really ask yourself? Did you ask around? You know, what sort of investigation, what sort of questions did you ask yourself and including your partner in courtship? Many of us don't ask questions. The only thing we know is go buy ice cream, go buy pizza, you know, we love the fun of it. But are we asking the right questions? And that's another thing. Are we just going every day, happy-go-lucky? Are we asking the questions that, is there something that you think if I find out it will cause a rift in us? Or is there something that I should know before I find out myself? Are we asking those sort of questions to open ourselves up, to know the sort of people we are getting involved in? I feel that that aspect is a bit missing. We don't ask the right questions.
Because looking at the story, obviously, I don't think it's the first time.
No.
And I probably think if he had done the investigation you're talking about, he probably would have heard from somewhere, even if he didn't think it was true, there would have been some rumor that, oh, this person has done this before, this person has done that before. And talking about ignoring things, even when the thing started in his home, remember he said he ignored it and thought, oh, maybe he has spent the money. He was seeing small signs, but
so that's
he
what
didn't
I'm saying,
want his mind to go
in
there.
his courtship, he might have noticed it, but you know, you ignore so many things during that time. And it's later when you settle. Liberians have this adage, come and visit me and come and spend time with me are two different things. If somebody is visiting you, the person is just coming, you know, spend a few minutes and then just go. When the person is spending time, when Liberians say spend time with me, the person is now living with you and you're seeing the person for whom he or she is. So it's like now the person is now spending time with you. Now you're seeing things and now your eyes are being open to whatever it is, you know. So it's definitely something that's always been there.
Yeah, I totally agree. Erwin, since you're the only guy, I'll come to you. I'll ask obviously for your general take on the story. And being a guy, what went through your mind? God forbid, but if you find out that your wife has this habit, what will go through your mind, the embarrassment and everything? And as Cynthia was saying, do you think that she just started, or you think it probably was happening and he wasn't paying attention to it? And she's claiming this is her first time. Are we supposed to believe her? If this is indeed her first time, then is she insisting that it was either her sister and her niece that indeed stole her husband's money?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I think the story didn't give us so much enough background information as to why the lady is going on with that character. Whether she's making something at home, as Cynthia earlier said. But then, reading through the story, what came to mind was that her husband was not up to task by not being paying attention to certain details. Because it looked like the lady was doing it on a planned way. It happened always when they have visitors. So he could have trapped the lady as well. He could have set up a trap to find out. There could also be a possibility that during their courtship, it didn't happen. Because if it actually happened during their courtship, the guy would have sensed that when they got married. And then the lady saying that it's her first time, it's something that I don't think is true, because it looks like she plans everything. Every step that she takes is a planned thing. She first did it when they had their cousin, when they had a cousin with them, when their sister came, she did it. And even when the guy's brother came to visit, she also did it. So, in quote, I would say she's a thief who has been in existence for a while. Let me say it that way. She's a thief who has been in existence for a while. It's unfortunate that the husband saw it at when he got married to the lady. But that notwithstanding, I think the husband needs to carry that as his cross. As individuals, we all have our weaknesses. So it means that as a husband, that is a cross that you also have to carry in his life. And I think he can as well help the lady to do away with that character. And I agree with Cynthia when she said it could be a spiritual problem. It could be a spiritual problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Erwin. Setina, general take on the story. And honestly, you're a married woman. And I'm wondering how this can affect a marriage? Do you think it's something that they can move past and get to a safe ground? Because I can imagine going to family events and something just getting lost there and everybody pointing fingers at the wife because she's the example or she's someone that they know is a thief. And if this brother and wife are not very mature and very understanding, they can go around telling family members, but oh, you Jaffo's wife, dear, if you go there, nah, she just steal your things. So I'm just imagining how it will affect their marriage and even the relationship or their family as a whole, the extended family as well. Your take on that, and then whatever general take you have so far.
Good evening once again, Evie. Reading the story, I saw that it's kind of interesting and then sad at the same time, as Rahel said, because given the situation we find ourselves in, it's creating a lot of problems in the home to the extent that it is creating loggerheads between a brother of the husband is a serious one. And to think that in our culture, it's kind of off when we say a woman is the thief. So I can feel the shame and the pain the husband has to go through. It's a sad one, and this can cause serious problems in the home. Reading the story, we've already seen that it has created a problem with the husband's brother, because for you to confidently go to your husband's brother and take this amount of money from him is something. Erwin said that it's not a first timer who will do this, because it takes some confidence to steal from your husband's brother. And the husband needs to explain to the wife that if care is not taken, it's going to create a problem. It can even create separation in the home. He needs to remind the wife that this can create a loss of job. That is, if she is doing this at the workplace, it is going to affect her job. And then for now that her brother has seen it, just as you said, if they go to family events and they begin to tell people, hey, this lady is a thief. Look at the shame alone that has come with. So it creates a lot of problem in the home. When it comes to that, it's the responsibility of the husband. I feel the pain, I feel the shame, but he needs to carry the cross, just as Erwin said, and then deal with the situation. Otherwise, at a point in time, you'll be there and they'll call you that your wife is in the police station because she picked something somewhere. And that is going to affect the family seriously.
That is very true. Can you imagine how embarrassing it is getting a phone call that your wife is at Counterback Water. She stole somebody's money in the office and they've caught her. Oh, like it's so sad. Please, if you just joined us, we are still in the studios of Hope TV. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will delve into the discussion once again. This is Real Talk. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are you a pastor, an evangelist, a church elder, or a media practitioner? Do you want to be equipped with the tools and the skills needed to get into media ministries? Then this is your opportunity. The Voice of Hope Media Ministries and the Biblical Know-How, in conjunction with Hope TV Ghana and the Communication Department of the Southern Ghana Union Conference, is organizing a 3-day masterclass in media ministry. Speakers: Mr. Ni Ayite Hammond, Manager, Hope TV Ghana; Dr. Solace Asafo, Communication Director, Southern Ghana Union Conference; Pastor Joshua Abuado, Biblical Know-How; and Pastor Isaac Appel, Voice of Hope Media. Date: 7th to the 9th of September 2021. Venue: The Encounter with Truth Studio at the Southern Ghana Union Conference. Fees: 200 Ghana cedis. To register, visit www.biblicalknowhow.org/masterclass, or you can call or WhatsApp any of the following numbers to register: 020-437-2211 or 024-078-3918. Register now and become a media evangelist.
Oh yeah, It's here again. United Service to Africa is partnering with Anikant Community Center and Ghana Adventist Health Service to undertake its third medical mission trip to Ghana from 20th to 25th of September 2021. The mission includes surgical procedures like hernia, hemorrhoids, and cataracts, general medical care, dental care, eye care, and laparoscopic surgical training. The venues are Valley View University, SDA Hospital, Techiman, Asamang SDA Hospital, Namong SDA Hospital, Ashanti Region, Wartburg Eye Services, Kaswa Central Region, Wadasu SDA Hospital, Ashanti Region, Sunyani SDA Hospital, Bono Region. You can visit any of the centers to get registered for the services already mentioned. Are you an anesthesiologist, general surgeon, internist, family medicine physician, dentist, ophthalmologist, optometrist, a nurse or a pharmacist? You can be one of our prestigious volunteers. You can also support by donating in cash or kind through our Zelle account at treasurer@unsta.org or call us on 951-640-9517 and 024-44-64692. For more information, you can also visit our website at www.unitedservicetoafrica.org. This medical mission is sponsored by United Service to Africa, Anikant Community Center, Loma Linda University Health, Catering Health Network, Ghana Adventist Health Service, Diwali Ben Trust and Tasadia Foundation, media partners, NOP TV Ghana and Hope Channel Ghana. Join us as we embark on this historic healing mission and spreading the love of God. United Service to Africa, with Christ to restore hope. Be there.
Back from that quick break. If you just joined us, we are still in the studios of Hope TV, coming your way with Real Talk. And joining me has been Cynthia Mensah in the studio. Virtually, I have Sathina, I have Erwin and Rahel. We are still talking about this man who says he married a thief because monies have been getting lost in his house. And his brother, who came to spend the night with his wife, complained that his wife, that is the man's wife, stole their money and his wife's wallet. Necklace, yes. So now this man went to ask his wife, this is what my brother is accusing you of, is it true? Unfortunately, it was true. And this is a big deal. Now he's thinking back and realizing that all the monies that I've been losing was because of my own wife. Somebody will say, couldn't you have asked your husband for money? Like this one, when he asked, oh, I couldn't find this amount in my wallet, did you take it? Yes, I took it. What can you do to you? He'll be upset if he'll be upset. He'll be angry and probably talk. But he will know you took it. But to lie and insist you did not and blame it on other people only for it to come around 360 and we find out that the woman of the house, the madam of the house, is a thief. Oh, sister, this is so sad. Cynthia, in what ways can this man help his wife? Because now that external people are away, he makes, you know, if it's just between the two of them, they can find a way of managing it. But now external people are involved and they know, and the rumors will start. And
even if not external people, even just between the two of them, they have to find ways to try to go around the situation, to work on the situation.
Right.
I feel that first and foremost, he needs to sit her down, to have that heart-to-heart talk with her. There could be a root cause. It could be stemmed from something. Something could have happened in the past. It could be anything. And getting to know, in the first place, getting to know there's a problem is like 50% of the problem solved. And then how to go around it. So if it's something spiritual, now both of you agree to maybe include your pastor and elders about it. If it's something that you need to call your parents-in-law about it, I mean, just to have that family unit. And as a husband, you have to stand with your wife, you know, in all this. And then he also has to look at himself as well. Is it that's because of his financial commitments in the home? Is he falling short somewhere? It could also be a problem. And I said it from the onset that maybe he's really not giving what he's supposed to give. So the lady is also finding ways and means to which she'll try to keep the home running. So he also has to have a look at himself that Am I doing what I'm supposed to do as a husband, as a father, as the man of the house? Am I doing all these? Am I putting these things in place?
Right.
So for me, those are the things that he needs to do. And if it's a spiritual problem, just get on your knees and pray. And I have a belief that there's nothing that God cannot do. Yeah.
Right. Erwin, Cynthia is saying it could be a spiritual problem. Do you agree, or you think it's psychological? And looking at it too, they say every thief is a liar because she's a liar. They asked her, she blamed it on the cousin, and even said she herself, she's losing money. What money was she losing? And when they asked, the first time the husband asked, did you take from my brother? She said no, until they threatened that they are good, the brother is going to do something to the thief before she said, I took it. Because she's lying, she's stealing. Obviously, I can understand why every thief is a liar, because when you do it, you have to cover up all the things you're doing. But how can this husband help his wife? Is it a spiritual issue? Is it psychological? Or it's just bad character that she has allowed to just grow and developed into this very terrible attitude and action of hers?
Okay, thank you once again. And it's not only thieves who lie. If you go back in creation, yeah, when God came to meet Adam, he lied when he was naked. So whenever you do something that is wrong, it's very difficult for you to be plain with what you've done, especially when you identify it as something that is not good. Then coming to what the husband can do to help the wife, just as Cynthia said earlier, it could be a spiritual thing. It could also be a psychological problem. So being the man, you need to stand by your wife. If the wife should have shown a good character, we would have definitely be proud of her. So if it is something bad with her, you need to be the man of the house and stand by her. You need to pray, and if possible, you need to also talk to a counselor. It could be your parents, it could be a pastor whom you trust. You see, sometimes you could talk to someone and the person will even worsen the case. So they need to choose wisely who they will talk to about this. Then also, he needs to also sit down with their wife and then get full detail of what has caused her to be in this character. From there, they can then move and then solve the problem. And also, the wife should first of all accept that there is a fault, there is a shortfall, and then from there also the husband can also prescribe or suggest some solutions that could help them to overcome this sad situation that they find themselves in. But in everything, I would say that the husband have a very much duty to play in this by standing behind his wife so that they could all together come out of this situation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Rahel, coming to you. You mentioned from the beginning that you think it's a spiritual problem. How can the husband help this woman? How can he be there for her? How can he make sure she doesn't go and repeat this outside? And she's claiming it's her first time. Obviously, from the story, you can tell it's not her first time. But how can he help her so that this behavior or attitude of hers does not affect their marriage further than it has already affected their marriage? Rahel, can you hear me? Rahel, you're mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Thank you. I think I agree with what Cynthia said earlier on. Her husband should bring the issue up peacefully, and then he should avoid accusing his wife of being a thief or a liar, and focus instead of on how he feels, and he should put himself in the lady's shoes so they can talk everything out. I think he should ask a lot of questions to find out what the actual problem is. Then they can take it from there. Being very direct with the lady is going to help the lady to voice out what the actual problem is and how everything started. And then seeking therapy is also going to help much. Counseling can be the best way for both of them to, talk everything out, because in that way, I think the lady will be able to say whatever is troubling her and maybe what she needs in the marriage that's causing her to steal from other people. And like I said, this is a spiritual something because nobody does this. You can't do this. This is not allowed in any way. So her husband should pray with her. And then if you are going to pray, the person in question right now should accept everything that she's doing, and then they take it from there. She should know that she needs help. If she accepts it that way, I believe that everything can start working.
Okay. Thank you so much. Sedina, again, same question. What can this man do to help his wife? Because he's asking a lot of questions. He doesn't know how to help her. He's worried, he's ashamed, he's embarrassed. But aside that, the woman herself, what can she do to help herself out? Because from the story, I don't even think she was remorseful, honestly, because if she wasn't threatened that they were going to do something to the thief, she would have insisted and acted as if some ghost or spirits entered the room and stole the money. Or she would have even gone on the tangent that her brother-in-law is lying. And that would have probably made the husband confused because he obviously wants to believe his wife. And now why would my brother come and lie and say that? You know, it would have caused a whole lot of distraction and rift in the family. But honestly, what can this girl do to help herself, even as her husband is trying to help her?
Okay, Evie, I think in a situation like this, the lady needs to accept and acknowledge the fact that this is a problem she's going through. If she doesn't acknowledge and accept it, then it's going to be tough on the husband. So first of all, to deal with it, she needs to accept it and then acknowledge the fact that it is a problem and it can be solved. So the husband will then have to get her professional help. Yes, you are going to pray and all that. Go through the religious routine, pray, and then get her to be right. But she would need a professional help. And then she needs to accept. And then it's high time she opens up in front of those who care for her. That is her husband. If her husband does not care, he will just leave her to go about stealing from others and then bring shame to the family. But this is a situation that the husband is ready to help. So she needs to open up to the husband and then open up to people who will care about her, rather than being exposed in front of people who do not have your interest at heart. So I think she needs to accept it, acknowledge that it's a problem, and then seek for professional help. And then whilst doing that, they need to pray as well. And I'm sure the husband is ever ready to help. That is why maybe he has brought it to us to discuss. And I think that will do them some good, rather than continuing with the shame she's bringing upon the family.
So before I go, I would ask, do you think this is a case of for better, for worse? Like, yeah, she's stealing, so we have to sit in there and fight it out. Or this one, dear, she can't follow me anywhere, because wherever she follows me, by the time we leave the place, somebody's phone will be lost, somebody's wallet will be lost. So she goes around picking people's things. Because I know some men will say, this one, do they take her home? She'll go and disgrace you. But do you think that they should forge ahead and then continue to be in the relationship? And whatever final words you have for them, you can go ahead and share.
Okay. Evie, I'll say yes. This is for better, for worse. If it is better, you take it. If it is the bad, you deal with it. Even the Bible says in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25 to 27, that I'd like to read this one. He said, husbands, love your wife, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church, without stain or wrinkle and any other blemish, but holy and blameless. This is something that has come upon her, and then her husband needs to help wash and make her clean and make her his wife and make her what he really wants her to do. So it's the responsibility of the man. it is worse, and you need to deal with it. If it was better, you wouldn't have brought it here. So for better, for worse, you met the worst. So please deal with it. It's your responsibility, and it is no one else's responsibility to do this. You are the first person to hold her and stand by her. And I'm a pastor's wife. In our ministry, we have something that we say, shepherdess. Then we respond by her side. We are always by our husband's side. So this is your wife. Stand by her and deal with the worst. Talk to her. It's a matter of communication. And then sometimes even your tone will help it. If you are here shouting at your wife and doing everything, all sorts of things, she's not going to be happy with it, and then she'll keep denying. You need to speak in a certain tone and let her know that this is something we can deal with it. It is a problem and it is treatable. So darling, please, let's go ahead and seek professional help. So for better, for worse, deal with it.
Okay, for better, for worse, deal with it. That's what Cynthia says. Cynthia, for better, for worse, she should stay inside.
Definitely for better, for worse. There's a reason why it's for better, for worse. Because as Cynthia said, when it's better, you wouldn't have brought it. I mean, if everything was rosy, you'd be enjoying.
Right.
So this is where you're faced with. For me, I say it's as a challenge, and whatever, you have to work through it. And if you should, he himself, if he should leave her at this point, Christ never left any of us. His love is like it's never ending. Irrespective of what things we have done, what we continue to do, he still loves us. And if we are supposed to, reflect his character, that is part of his love. We're also supposed to love unconditionally. So he has to stay there and work it out with her.
Any final words for the woman and the man as well?
Yes, for the man, God will give him the grace to go through this situation. He cannot do it alone, except he asks God for the grace and the strength to go through it. And the woman to acknowledge that, yes, she has a problem. And that is half of the problem solved. So yes, I have a problem, and be committed together with the husband to solving the situation. I think they'll be able to come out of it. So,
okay,
yeah.
Okay, I agree. Everybody's saying for better, for worse.
Yes.
Erwin, is it for better, for worse? Or you say, hey, this one dear, she can't follow me anywhere. At church, you be afraid. When she goes to work, you be afraid. Like when family anybody comes over, you'll be just worried, and you'll be checking in on her, making sure that she's not picking people's things that she's not supposed to be picking. But do you believe that, as Cynthia said, it's a challenge and they have to work it through? And then your final words for this couple, the man and then the woman.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a challenge, and then they have to also work it through. So when you read something from Matthew chapter 19, verse 5 and 6, it says, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. So the man, just as I said earlier, it's unfortunate this is the kind of fault he finds with the wife. And it's a sad one. And this shouldn't be the reason for him to leave the wife. It is at this point that she needs her most. So with prayers and with good counseling, he can help, and then the wife will come out of the situation. I don't think there is too much for God to do. God is a God of possibilities, and he can do anything. And I will tell him to keep on. He shouldn't give up, because he can, and with God, he can be able to help the wife to come out of this unfortunate situation that she finds herself in. Thank you very much.
Thank you also. Rahel, finally, you.
Yes.
Should they stay in this and work it out? Your final words to these guys.
For a moment, I was going to say, hey, this one there. But I think that Christ has never given up on us. So as Christians, I can say, hey, this one there. So I think this is one of the challenges people face in their marriages. And I hope the guy can pray and deal with this, because he needs the strength from God to do this. And with the lady, one thing I can say to the lady is that she has to decide to change, because nobody can change us. You can't help somebody who doesn't need help. So she has to make a decision. She has to know that this is for her own good. This is for her marriage. This is for her husband. This is for her family. So she has to make a decision to change. And then prayers can start working for her. And then as a Christian, I would say that she shouldn't ever stop praying. Because when it comes to something that you've been addicted to, something that has become a habit, the edges will come at some point. So if she keeps on praying with the support of her husband, I believe that she can overcome this. So she should pray. Prayer is everything. And I mean, everybody has a testimony when it comes to prayer. She should pray.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very true. Prayer, of course, will do a lot of things in our lives. She should pray. And for the man, it will take a lot of patience and understanding, because I do not think this woman is going to change this behavior of hers just because you say she should, because it looks like it's something she's been doing because of how calculated she is about it. So it's something she's been doing for a while, and she's planned it, and she knows when to move in and move out quickly without being noticed. And I think for the woman, she needs to accept that indeed she has a problem. She shouldn't put her defenses up there and be lying that this is her first time and all that. She needs to accept that she has a problem, because regardless of what the man will do, if she doesn't want the help, she won't change, and that will become a problem. So she needs to realize that this is an issue, sit down, try and solve it, and just find ways around it. Because if this is her behavior, I am tempted to think that she could even pass it through her kids, where the children grow up stealing up and then nobody will understand why they are all doing this. They don't know that mommy is the one that has passed this terrible trait to the kids. So it's a huge problem that they need to find a solution to. Before I came on, Satina sent me a message that today I need to do the greetings from abroad that we've been doing on Real Talk. If I don't do it today, she will let me sleep. So I want to quickly rush through and let her have a time to greet whoever she wants to greet. So you guys, anybody that you want to greet, please prepare your list. When I'm done with the comments, I'll give you guys opportunity to greet whoever you want to greet. Satina, I beg you, put your list down. I'll be coming to you shortly. So this one is from Carl Mickey. He says, please let your pastor help you in prayers and fasting. Nani B says, pray for God's intervention, and he should sit her down and ask her what is really her problem. Josiah said, a thief. I can never live with a thief. It's one of my pet peeves. It's either I beat her or something will happen. I can't live with a thief. If she were to be my wife, honestly, I would have to walk. Wow, people have very strong opinions. Mariah says, this woman will go and steal in the office and disgrace her husband. She might even steal at church. What at all is this? That is why, as parents, when you see your children stealing small, you have to curb it immediately. Now she's a grown woman, and I don't think stopping will come easy. Okay, I just have 4 minutes, so I'll let Satina. Satina, please, I beg, who are you greeting today?
Amy, you know, it's very important. I'd like to say a big congratulations to a friend of mine, Mercy Adomako Konedu. She gave birth to a bouncy baby boy yesterday.
Oh.
We are grateful unto the Lord for that. And I would like to greet my family, VVUTC community. And to my colleagues at work, if I don't mention their name today, I'm doomed tomorrow. So workers of the Made of Ghana Conference, Simon, Nicholas, Augustine, Abraham, and everyone. And to Erwin. Erwin is also my work colleague, and everyone watching. Good evening.
Thank you
as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Now I can sleep at night. Mercy. Satina's friend, congratulations once again. We thank God for safe delivery. Erwin, who are you saying congratulations to, or who are you greeting today on the show?
Okay, I want to greet my church, Agape SD Church. And I also want to say congratulations to Elder James Tufor, who is now Dr. James Tufor. And also I also want to say hi to Nana Kuya, who is in New York. also Richmond Ebo Ofe, Dr. Richmond Ebo Ofe, who is also in Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Rahel, you are the
Yes.
proper greetings from abroad. So please share your greetings with us.
Evie, do you know that someone literally told me if I don't mention her name, she's going to disown me?
Hey.
Yeah. So I really have to mention names.
Please mention.
So, yeah, I want to say a very good evening to my family in Tema, my sister, my mom and her husband and their kids. I really miss home, and I want to say God bless them for their support. Sometimes when some opportunities come up and you're very nervous, these people are there to support you in all the ways. And my very best friend, she's the one who says she's going to disown me if I don't mention her name. Her name is Sofa. She has been of help, and I want to say God bless her. My godfathers, Eda Kusipita and Eda Monofie Techman, Glory SDA, and Sami, my friend. He's here in Columbus. I mean, he gave me this opportunity to be on your show today, so I would like to thank him through that. So yeah, thank you very much for having me today.
I am very excited you're able to join. Sami, thank you for inviting Rahel. It was very nice having her. And Sophia, we beg, do not disown Rahel. We beg you, do not disown her. She's mentioned your name. Cynthia, over to you.
Who else will I say thanks to? I mean, my loved ones, they know themselves. And that particular one, they know themselves.
Mr. Particular, we greet you this evening. Erwin is telling me that he has to say one last one, or he too, they will let him sleep. Erwin, who are you going to mention?
Yeah, thank you, Evie. I want to greet Pastor Usua Champo and say congratulations to the family for a newborn baby boy.
Oh, we thank God. Pastor.
You are friend Paul.
He's called what?
The baby is Pakwesi.
Pakwesi. Pastor, congratulations on Pakwesi's birth. And thank you guys. I'll just thank my viewers because you guys are amazing. You guys always tune in. You guys watch. You guys contribute. And on that note, I would also remind everyone who has a story to share that you can send it to us on our WhatsApp number, our email address, or you can even send it to us through Instagram, DM us and send us the message, or Facebook Messenger. Just send it to us. We will be able to find you amazing panelists as we did today to have a great conversation, a great discussion out of it. And the best thing is, at the end of the day, we will try and give you solutions as to how to solve whatever problem it is you are facing. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to my crew. Thank you to everyone that supports Real Talk. You guys are amazing. We are becoming a community of our own. We share ideas, we share solutions, and we try to create a safe environment where we can discuss whatever it is that we are going through in this world. To my amazing crew, I always will thank you because I always say it takes a village to put together a TV show, and you guys do it seamlessly. God richly bless you. My name is Evie. I'll come your way same time next week with yet another exciting story that you out there would share with us. So please stay tuned, enjoy the rest of the content on Hope TV, and I'll come your way same time next week.
Christ is King. Hallelujah. Christ is King. Hallelujah.